happens. If you wanted to grab weights, you're welcome to grab some for this session. I mean, you can go as heavy as you like. I'm gonna try and go through like a bit of a mobility mixed with strength session. So, bit of stretching, bit of strengthening, bit of stretching, bit of strengthening kind of thing. Cool. It is, I'm hoping. All right, so we're going to start in this position. If people pop in and out, that's fine. We're going to start pretty chilled. So my hands are behind me. I know my clothes are kind of matching my mat here a little bit, but hopefully you can see my feet flat on the ground. So before we go anywhere else, I just want you to try and make sure that your lower back is not arching. So as we go through the next movements, watch that you don't start to end up in a back bend. Okay, we want to keep the collarbones open, but the rib cage is going to stay relatively closed down in relation to the pelvis, all right? And then kind of slow, we're going to start to let the knees windscreen wipe over to one side. Take a moment to feel it out. If this aggravates your knee, just go to a place that you feel you can handle, and then you're going to come back up through center, click, click, click through the hips, and then over to the other side. Keep on going nice and slow. So it's almost just like getting a sense of, okay, which side feels tighter, first of all. How close are my knees getting to the ground? Especially the inside knee. I'm going to go for 4 more slow ones. Encouraging maybe the tighter side a little bit deeper each and every time. 3, 2, and last time we're going to end over here on this left hand side if you're mirroring me. So once we're on this left hand side, open up your collarbones, close down the ribs, connect to that right bum cheek in your mind's eye and just think, okay, right bum cheek is heavy. I'm not trying to lift it away from the ground. I want it to sink back in towards the floor. And then I'm going to start to lift my right leg up as far as I feel able for without letting my left knee pull away from the ground. And then I'm going to slowly take it back. We're working through the top range here, so you don't need to bring it all the way down to the ground unless you wanted to, but we were trying to floss out that top range in the hips. Let's go for about 10. So as I take my knee up and out the way, I'm simultaneously pushing my foot down into the floorboard. So I'm kind of connecting with the ground. And I'm watching that my left knee doesn't kind of want to move away from the ground. 4, open to create a bit of resistance for yourself. 3, 2, and 1. Work the top and then take it over to the other side. Get nice and comfy, and remember, try and think about your left bum cheek being pretty heavy here. So we're not going to be lifting and contracting through the obliques. So press your right knee into the ground. That's going to stay put like a little fly stuck on a fly trap, and then you're going to open up through the right knee and then slowly take it down. Again, I'm more interested in the top range, so working through that barrier at this point rather than getting the knee to the ground, but it's up to you how big you want to make this movement. 4 to 5, pressing through the foot. So as I lift my knee, I'm pushing through the floor. 2, pushing through the floor, and last time down, pushing through the floor, and then I'm going to hang out again on this side. All right? Now try not to sink into the shoulders too much. I know it's a lot of time spent in that position, but push the floor away, close the ribs, and now we're going to create our own sense of resistance a little bit more here. So really root down through that right leg. Push the right leg into the ground. I want you to contract into that right glute. So think about that right leg pushing through the floor. and feel the work there in that glute. Keep that nice and strong. And then you're going to create an opposite contraction through the other glute, and you're going to try and open the right knee out to the right hand side. So now both of my glutes are working here in opposition. Try and resist it. Get that right knee as open as possible without letting the left knee move. So I got my rights and lefts muddled up there. But when you can no longer resist it, take it over to the other side. Okay, and then start again. So here, left knee is going to push into the floor, push it into the floor, push it into the floor, push it into the floor. Feel your glutes switch on, push the floor away through those arms, and then you're going to keep pushing down into the ground through that left knee. Right knee is going to open, open, open. Feel the inner thighs stretch. Press down through the whole of that right foot into the floor. Create your resistance, and then slowly take it over. Okay, let's do one more on each side. You've really got to muster up your own sense of resistance here. Press the right knee into the floor. Push, 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 push. Squeeze into that right glute, and then start to lift the left knee up, 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 up. Pull them away from one another. Pull them away from one another. Imagine the strongest resistance band in the world trying to bring your knees together, and you're trying to resist that force. And then take it over and other side. Nice. Last time. Push, 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 push. Left knee into the ground. Push it, push it, push it, push it. Feel the glute. Feel the hamstring. Feel that vastus lateralis quad of yours. And then you're going to open, 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 open. Out to the side through the right knee. Pull them in opposition. The strongest resistance band in the world, trying to bring your knees together, and you're resisting it. Press through a flat right foot into the ground. 3, 2, 1, and then bring it to center. Very nice. Okay, now try and come away from the ground with the hands. Maybe shake it out. Ugh, that feels a bit weird. And then, guys, we're going to literally try and do no hands, flossing from side to side. I hope you got the idea there, even if my feet were a bit out of the screen. I'm going to go for 8, 7. You might notice you start traveling forwards. 6, 5, 4. You might still need the hands behind you. If that's the case, that's cool. 3 and 2. I'm almost about to travel out the frame. Last one. And then we're going to actually come up into standing. All right, so if you did have a set of weights with you, grab a hold of them now. And we're going to come into a wide second stance with the toes relatively turned out. Adjust your stance as needed as you get into the vibe of the exercise. We're going to take the weights to our chest. Elbows are going to tuck in nice and tight. Before we do anything else, I'm going to turn this direction so you can see my body. I want you to start to feel a hinge, as if you were pushing the wall behind you away, and then bring yourself back up. So why I want you to do this first is because I want you to feel a hinge at the hip. So imagine you were pushing the wall behind you away with your bum, and then the wall pushed you forward again. The wall behind you, you're pushing it away with your bum, and then you're going to get pushed forward again. Keep going with that. Softly bending into those knees as well for me. So if you're a hyperextender like me, softly bend into those knees. All right. Now we're going to add on to this hinge movement. I'm going to push the wall behind me away with my bum, and then I'm going to start to bend into my right knee, keeping my left leg long. And then I'm going to push the floor away, come up into standing. Other side. I'm going to push the wall behind me away, starting at the hip or breaking at the hip first, coming down, and then pushing through my foot to stand back up. Butt hinge, knee bends as a result, push the floor away. Butt pushes the wall back, knee bends naturally, push the floor away. Maybe 8 to 10 more of these, depending on your pace. See if you can connect to your glutes on the way up Yeah. And see if you can use your glutes to control your way down. So my glute muscles are lengthening slowly under controlled eccentric contraction and then concentric contraction on the way up. 4 more. Eccentric just means lengthening under tension, and that's what my glutes are doing right now on my left leg, my bending knee. 2. Okay, last time. Down and up. Very nice. Let's take the weights to our sides, or at least pointing those weights down towards the floor. We're coming back into that hinge movement. So soft bend into the knees, spine long, close the ribs, so no lower back arching, and we're going to hinge forwards, feeling the stretch at the back of our legs, and then use your butt to bring yourself back up. Okay, hinge forwards, keeping your spine long, bring yourself back up. Keep going. So as you come down, guys, watch that you're not rounding into your back. Keep your gaze and your spine nice and long so that you can access those hamstrings. 4 to go. Squeeze your bum to lift. And 3. And squeeze your bum to lift. And 2. And squeeze your bum to lift. And last time, down. And squeeze your bum to lift. Well done. Bring those legs into center. Just shake them out for a second. Great job. Really great job. All right. So we're sticking with glute, but I want to activate the core as well. If you're holding super heavy weights, you might need to lower them down for this one. So let's see if you can balance onto your right foot, lifting your left knee up. Okay, so we're holding out here. Check in with this right leg. If your hip is sinking, push through the floor to get that extra little bit of length. All right, close down the ribs. All right, I'm going to turn my palms to face out the way, and I'm going to see if I can use my left arm, reach it all the way up to the sky. So it's going out the frame, but I'm just keeping it straight, and it's going up and then slowly coming down. Other arm up, slowly down. Okay, keep on going. Up, slowly down. Now, if your balance is just like not working for you today, because some days it's just, some days balance is just not happening, you can always keep the big toe of your left foot on the ground there, just as a little bit of an anchor. Otherwise, 4 more. Probably said that about 4 ago. Whoa, almost lost it. Can I catch it? Yes. That was a good save. 3. And 2. And last time. So you're going to start to feel those arms burn. Well done. Bring yourself to center. Switch it over to the other side. So press through the floor on that left leg. Right leg lifts up. Close down the ribs for me. And just make sure all 5 toes of that left foot are on the mat. Okay? All right, when you're ready, turn the palms to face out the way. 1 arm at a time. And up. And slowly down. Really nice and slow here to feel that balance and proprioception happen in the stabilizing foot. And so you might not feel this in the glutes. It kind of depends on, which muscles in your body maybe are stronger than others. So I tend to feel this a lot in my foot. Just because that's maybe where I'm a little bit weaker. Some of you might be getting this in the glute or even in the hip flexor. Obviously the arms working as well. Last 2. And last one. Bam. Take it back to your wide second stance. All right, you can shake out the shoulders, bring those weights back to center again. So we're coming back into a second set of hinges with a little lateral lunge, okay? And this time, go as deep as you like into that lateral. So start with a break at the hips. Your butt goes back, hips flex. Then your knee is going to bend, getting that stance feeling good for you. Maybe going a little bit wider. If you feel you can get lower, press through the floor, come back up. So you see I adjusted my stance for the depth that I felt I could get into. And nice and slow on the way down. Remember that word eccentric. So muscles lengthening under tension to control you down. Creates so much strength. And my heels of my feet are on the floor. Okay, ideally. So if the heel of the knee that's bending lifts off the ground, it's not a bad thing, but it does put a little bit more shearing force through the knee. So maybe try and work to keep the heels on the ground. Let's do 2 more on each side. Now we're using that mobility that we worked for in the initial exercise. Last one each side. Last time. And up. Heel toe the feet in. Lower your weights right down. Well done. So just briefly in standing, stretching it out. Come back to that wide foot position. Pigeon toe the feet in. Root down through the pinky toe edges. Let's close down the ribs. And we're going to try and hinge to the ground. Now, ideally, you'd be able to get your fingertips to the floor. Hopefully that's happening for you. If not, you can rest your hands on your shins or on a table, on a chair, whatever. Ideally, you're getting something to touch the floor. Relax your head. Relax your shoulders. And relax the length of your spine. Unclench your teeth and your jaw. And if you think your head is relaxed, try and relax it even more. If your hamstrings feel happy out, you can grab a hold of opposite elbows and just hang into the stretch. Adding in any other movements you might feel you want to add in. You can kind of sway your torso forward and backwards. Just don't fall over. Going for 3 more breaths here. As you start to acclimatize, some of you be able to widen your stance and get your elbows to the ground maybe. Keeping the pinky toe edges of the feet on the floor for 3, 2, 1, and slowly, guys, bend at the knees, heel toe the feet back to the midline, and we're going to roll up into standing. Amazing job. Okay, guys, so we're coming down onto the mat again, down onto the floor. And this time, we're going to focus in on mobilizing the quads a little bit. So my rationale for this is kind of work the inner thighs, work the glutes a little bit. So we're going to change the focus to quadroonies and hip flexors. So if you need a pillow for your back knee or to double up your mat, then you can do that, obviously. Just bring your left foot out in front. Nice. Okay, so just a few checks before we carry on. If you can, without losing your balance, look at your back foot. Now, my back foot always wants to turn inwards. So see if you can get the heel of your back foot in line with your sit bone. Yeah, same leg sit bone. And the toes are pointing straight back behind you. So your foot isn't turning inwards or turning outwards. All right? Nice. Pinky toe contact with that back foot as well. Tuck your tail. not your toes, your tail. Lengthen up to the crown of your head. Plant your hands onto your front thigh, interlocking all 10 fingers. Round into your lower back, guys. Really tuck, 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 tuck. Pull the front of your ribs in through your body, round through your upper back, and push your front thigh away from your body. Tucking your chin to your chest, but lengthening up through the nape of the neck, keeping the pinky toe contact of that back foot on the floor. Squeezing in through the right glute here for me, pubic bone to navel. Push that front thigh away from you for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Slowly release, lift your sternum, reach your arms up. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Okay, really keeping the ribs closed, but still thinking about energy lifting you. Right arm's going to reach up even higher, left arm's going to reach down. Try not to let your booty change. Try not to let the back foot change. But opposition energy. Something's pulling you down. 20 kg kettlebell pulling the bottom arm down. Hercules pulling you up to space. That would be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? Holding for 5. These days, anything is possible. 4. Reach straight up to the sky through that right arm. 2, 1. Now, without moving your back foot or your pelvis, just the rib cage is going to change position. You're going to side bend. Left arm's going to reach up. Right arm's going to reach down. Okay, Hercules has now got left arm pulling you up to space. 20 kg kettlebell, right arm down towards the floor. Pelvis is staying the same. Try and get a little bit more length through the sides of your body as if something was pulling the rib cage up away from your pelvis. 3, 2, 1. Reach both arms forward. You're now in the forest. Robin Hood. You've got a bow and arrow. Left arm pulls through the bow. Rotate. Twist. Keep the elbow low though, so try not to crunch up through the neck. Low. And then change it up. Right arm pulls that bow. Don't let the pelvis change. Don't let the back foot change. And reach. And at your pace. Switching from side to side. I'm going to go for about 4 more. 3. Finding the twist through the ribs. 2. And last one, pull. Good job. Now take the hands to the mat, framing your front foot. All right, now you've all done this with me before. You're going to tuck the toes of your back foot under. If you can see, I'm wearing weird things on my toes. They're just toe spacers. If you're like, what is that on her feet? All right, so tucking the toes of my back foot under. I'm keeping my chest on my front thigh, but I'm going to lengthen through my sternum. So my spine is going to get long. All right, and then I'm going to lift my back knee up off of the ground, pressing through the back heel, and then I'm going to slowly break at the knee for 3, 2, 1, touchdown, and lift. I'm not locking out through the joints, but I'm squeezing the muscles of my right leg, slowly lowering down. 3, 2, 1. Let's go for 3 more, and keep the spine long. Lift, and slowly lower for 3, 2, 1. Touchdown. Last 2, and lift. Keep the spine long, and 3, 2, 1. Touchdown. Last time, and lift. Press back through the heel. Slowly lower. 3, 2, 1. Touchdown. Well done. Pull your bum back slowly, and we're going to slide the left foot back briefly onto all fours, guys, and just shake your bum from side to side. You might get a click or 2. Maybe not. All right. Other leg in front. same setup. Okay, so right foot forward, left foot back. Check out that left foot. Okay, so just make sure for me that your heel is relatively in line with your bum, and that your foot isn't twisted in, it's not twisted out, but it's kind of pointing straight the way back behind you. Okay, cool. Right knee above right ankle, lengthening through the tail, closing the rib cage, and pinky toe contact on that back foot. Yeah, it makes a big difference. All right, guys, first we interlock. Almost had you reaching to the stars. So interlock the fingers, tuck through the tail, connect through the glute, pubic bone to navel, round into the lower back, round into the mid back, round into the upper back, tucking chin to chest and pushing that front thigh away from your body. Now, if you're like me, these positions are so familiar, but as soon as you have to add in the awareness of your feet, things change dramatically. And I have to say, guys, that it makes a huge difference just throughout the rest of your body. Okay? So try and stay aware of the toes of the back foot. Round a little deeper through the lower back, tuck the tail a little more, press the thigh away a little more. Round through the upper back. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Slowly release the fingers from the front thigh and take your arms up, up, up. Okay, try and avoid back bending here. Close through the rib cage, push down through that front foot. Left arm's going to reach up, so you're pulling the ribs away from the pelvis. Right arm is going to reach down. So Hercules lifting you to space, kettlebell pulling you to earth. Pinky toe of back foot, big toe of front foot. 3, 2, 1. Don't let the pelvis or the feet change. Just the rib cage is going to literally tip like a seesaw on top of your stable platform to the other side. Right arm reaches up, left arm down. Reach in opposition, guys. A little bit of drama. Up through the top, down through the bottom. Collarbone super long, chin is tucked back towards your throat, so we're not hyperextending through the back of the neck. 3, 2, 1. We're in the forest. Arms are going to come forward, bow and arrow. Or maybe you're Cupid. Valentine's Day is almost coming. So whichever direction you want to start, pulling, rotating, watch the back foot as you twist, and forward. And pull, rotate, and forward. Pull, rotate, and forwards. Maybe about 4 more, depending on your pace. You can go slower. Starting to feel the fatigue in the legs. 3, pinky toe of back foot, big toe of front foot, where are they at? 2, and last time, pull. Amazing. Let's frame that front foot. Take the hands down. Okay, get yourself set up for success. And we're going to lengthen the chest. So lengthen the spine, heart shines forward, just to avoid that rounded spine posture. Okay, tuck the toes of the back foot under. I didn't mention this on the other side, but when you've tucked the toes of the back foot and you lift the back knee up, try not to roll onto the pinky toe edge or the big toe edge. So if you had to look at your back foot right now, and if you had to start lowering down the knee would track with the second toe, just like in a lunge, okay? So you're not letting that knee come down, and you're not dumping into the big toe edge or the pinky toe edge as you come down, okay? Something to think about. As if you didn't have enough stuff to think about already. Okay, 4 more, and slowly coming down. For 3, 2, 1. Touch down and lift. Slowly down. for 3, 2, 1. Touch down. Slowly lift. 2, for 3, 2, 1. Touch down. Last time. Slowly lift. Coming down for 3, 2, 1. And slowly lift. Now keep that back knee lifted. Take a big step forward till your feet are together on the mat, and we're going to grab a hold of our weights and come up into standing. Okay, my friends, so the quads should be warm. We're going to take our left foot forward, and we're going to come into a lunge position. Ha 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 ha. All right, now make sure your lunge feels good for you. And think about what we've just spoken about in kneeling. So in that back foot, all 5 toes, I'm not going to roll onto my pinky toe edge, but rather I'm going to press down a little bit more through my big toe edge of my back foot. I'm going to close down through my ribs, bring my weights into my chest, and I'm going to slowly come down, bending into my front knee, and then I'm going to power myself back up, not locking out through the front knee, but keeping a micro bend. And then I'm going to come down and up. Let's go for 8. And slowly down. Power up. 7. Slowly down. Power up. It's okay for the knee to go in front of the toes, as long as it's tracking with the second toe. Going for 4 more. And up. 3. And up. 2. And up. Ooh, don't go down. Last time. Down and up. Good job. Big step forward with that back foot. Let's switch it over to the other side straight away. I almost came down, guys, because as soon as I look at the screen, my balance goes all funky. All right. Other side. So, again, check in with the feet. That back foot. Where is it at? Okay. Front foot, where is it at? Close the ribs, slowly come down. Not collapsing as we lower, powering up through the front leg. Slowly down. And powering up through that front leg. And up. So we want to try and keep constant tension on that front leg, which is why it's not such a great idea to lock out the knee at the top of the movement, because that's a little bit of a rest that we actually shouldn't be giving ourselves. 2. And up. Let's go for 1 more. And up. Big step forward with the back leg. Shake it out. Now let's take those weights, pop them down 1 more time, and briefly come back into kneeling. Again, with the left leg out in front. All right, so I'm going to take the stretch a little bit deeper now, lengthening through the tail, coming down into a hip flexor stretch. This time, allowing the pelvis to press forward a little bit more. Try and keep your lower back long though, so you should still be able to tuck. Alright, right hand is going to come down to the ground. You guys are probably going to twist away from me here if you're doing the same side as me. So if your right hand is on the ground, you're going to take your left arm, reach it up, rotate. Hold that left arm up towards the sky. Check in with the toes of your right foot. So I've got my pinky toe, I've got my big toe. I can feel the toenails on the mat. And then I'm going to close my left arm down to the floor again. And then I'm going to open up, rotate, close it down. Going for 4. And close. And 3. And close. Connect to your right glute, guys. Squeeze into the right glute for me so the right leg is active. 2. And 1. Very nice. Place the left hand down. Just take a look at me for a second. Now, what I'm about to do next, you might need to double up your mat or put a pillow underneath that back knee. I'm going to see if I can pull the heel of my right foot in towards my bum. Hamstring cramp people, this might get you. Let's see how you get on. So I'm going to pull my heel towards my bum, and then I'm going to try and pulse it in for 10, 9, 8, 7. As I pull my heel back, I'm trying not to pull my bum back simultaneously. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. We're going to do that one more time. Okay? When you're ready, bring the heel towards your bum. Pulse it in. 10, 9. Connect to your right glute at the same time. So squeeze right glute, squeeze heel in. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now try and hold it there. You're going to use your rotation. So left arm rotates. Use that rotation to see if you can reach back and hold on to something. Maybe your socks, maybe your foot, maybe your tights. Hold and breathe. Curse my name. I mean, I can't hear you, so you could literally just be swearing at me right now, which is cool. For 3, 2, 1, and then slowly release. Pull your bum back, slide the left heel back, briefly onto all fours, shake out your booty. Right now, we're going to do that to the other side as well. Okay, so let's take the right foot forward. Right, I'm going to check in with my back foot, make sure nothing too dramatic is going on there. And then I'm going to press my pelvis forward and down, trying not to back bend. So say, for instance, you push yourself forward and you reach your barrier here. Don't just then force yourself deeper. Okay? From this position, wherever you end up, try and get something to touch the floor. So ideally, your hands will get to the ground. Ideally, even more, you can get flat palms. Right arm is going to open up, rotate, take a moment, and then take it down. Open up, rotate, and slowly down. 3 to go. Open up, pause, take a moment, maybe even an inhale, and down. 2. Open up, pause, and down. Last time. Open up, pause, and take it down. Both hands come down. This is where we do that disgusting heel to bum movement. Alright, so either you're going to put a pillow behind your or underneath your knee, or you're going to double up your mat. Try and lengthen through the spine. Okay, and get yourself set up for success here, listening to your legs. Bring the heel in, take a moment, and then try and connect to your bum as well. It's kind of a terrible feeling. And then pulse it in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, take a moment. Last time. The good news is time is literally flying with this stuff. So let's go. Bring it in. And pulse it up for 10, 9. Chest is forward. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, place the left hand down, if it wasn't already. Rotate, right arm reaches up. So the reason why we're doing this first, guys, is because I see a lot of people trying to attempt this foot reach thing with the chest pointing down towards the floor. But that's kind of, you're limiting yourself. See how much easier it is when your chest is pointing towards the sky and you rotate through your torso. That foot is way more accessible. Holding and breathing. If you're not reaching the foot, you can hold it actively. It's actually way more difficult and probably more beneficial as well than grabbing onto the foot. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Slowly releasing yourself out of it, taking both hands to the ground, pull your bum back, slide the right foot back, and just take a few little sways of your hips from side to side. Great job. All right. So we're staying on the knees. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to take you off the knees for a moment. Let's come into a pancake or a straddle. So I'm going to take my legs into this position. I'm lucky because I've got a wall behind me. If you find that in this position, no matter how hard you try, you can't help but round into your lower back or upper back, then it's such a good idea to sit with the wall behind you or with your bum elevated onto something. It's just going to give you an actual stretch rather than a pain in the neck. So, opening the legs quite wide, see if you can walk them out a little bit wider till you feel that stretch along the inner thighs. Try and point the knees and the toes up towards the ceiling so that we're not internally rotating through the legs. To help you with that, squeeze your bum, and notice that as you squeeze your bum, your feet will turn out with a little bit of external rotation. So try and get that to work for you. Butt squeeze equals feet up. Lengthen up to the crown of your head. Okay, and then we're going to turn our tummy towards the right leg. Okay, as soon as you turn your tummy, keep your left sit bone and left foot pointing up towards the sky, and slowly start to hinge yourself forward, keeping your sternum pointing towards the top of your foot. Okay, holding and breathing here. Push your legs into the earth. So the more muscular activation you can find, the more mobility you will get. The more you sink into your joints, well, just I would say the worse for you. Okay, so find your muscular activation here for 3, 2, 1, and then slowly walk yourself up, going to the other side. Lengthen, twist, hinge. Just get a sense of how the side compares. Toes pointing up, bum is switched on. I'm pushing down through the back of my legs into the floor. 3, 2, 1. Slowly walk yourself up. And this time we're going to go down through the middle. You're going to lengthen up through the crown. You're going to fold yourself in half, breaking at the hips. Coming through center. Try and find your bum here again. So squeeze your glutes. And keep that. It's going to help you get more inner thigh lengthening. Holding for 10. 9. Push the back of your legs into the floor. Squeeze your bum to pull the legs even further away from one another. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Slowly bring yourself up. Now, we're going to side bend through the spine over to the left hand side. So I'm going to take over to the right hand side. Sorry, we're going to take my right arm and I'm going to reach it down my right leg as far as I can whilst keeping my left butt cheek on the floor. Okay, so sinking down, that feels good. Then I'm going to reach my top arm in line with my ear and I'm going to try and straighten out my elbow. Keeping that leg, keeping my left leg, my left toes pointing up. Right, some of you might be able to get the right elbow to the ground. You may even be able to reach for the right foot, still keeping left sit bone on the floor. Keeping the elbow long, holding and breathing for 5, 4, 3. Keep rooting down through that left sit bone. That's really going to get you the stretch. 2, 1. No big momentum movements to take you out of it. Slowly contract through the obliques to help yourself lift, lengthen up through the crown. Other side. So kind of navigating your way through. Slide your left arm down your left leg as far as it feels like it'll go. I hook my elbow onto the inside of my knee for a little bit more traction. Okay, and then I reach my arm up. Okay, my shoulders are pretty mobile, so this is fine for me, but if your shoulder doesn't like it, then do what works for you. Okay, root down through the right sit bone. Reach the top arm in line with the ear. Try and straighten out the elbow. Finding your breath, finding your glutes. And then maybe finding a little bit more depth there, getting the elbow to the ground on that left side. If your neck doesn't know where to be, your head doesn't know where to be, you can look down to the floor, you can look up to the sky, whatever works for you. Down to the floor is probably kindest. Holding for 3, 2, reach a little bit more out of the rib cage, 2, 1, slowly out, guys, super slow. Yes, 1 more through the midline, but before we go down through center, squeeze your bum. So bum, contact your bum, squeeze it, lengthen, toes up. Now try keep your bum squeezed on here. That's going to lengthen your inner thighs more, okay? Press down through the legs into the floor, and then you're going to hinge forward. See if you can reach towards me, or reach towards, I guess, in front of you. Okay, squeeze your bum. Use your bum to pull the toes to the sky. Reach towards me. Holding for 10, 9. Imagine you were trying to scoop the floor up between those inner thighs. 7, 6, bum, bum, bum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly sink down into it and surprise yourself by how low you're getting. 2 more breaths here, guys. And last breath. Slowly walk yourself out of it. And we're going to lie on our back. So you might feel like you need a little bit of assistance to get the legs back through center. That's kind of normal. And we're going to lie down. So lying on your back. I hope you can see me. Shouldn't have worn such dark clothes. All right, so lying on your back. We're going to take our feet parallel hip width distance, and my heels are in line with my sitting bones. Hands are relaxed down towards the floor. So we've stretched our hamstrings quite a lot, especially the inner thighs and medial hamstrings. So we're just going to activate them a little bit, okay? Coming into our bridge movement, we're going to tuck round into the lower back, press down through all 4 corners of your feet, coming up into your bridge, exposing the pelvis to the sky with your beautifully parallel knees, because I know your knees are parallel right now. And then slowly take it down, articulating through the spine. Keep it going, keep it going. So coming up, contact the big toe mounds of your feet here, okay? So kind of pressing down through the big toe edges. Pinky toe edge is still on the floor, but root down through the big toe edge, and then slowly down. And keep going. Tuck and lift. Press down through all 4 corners, but mostly the big toe edge. Knees beautifully parallel. Slowly down. If you'd like a little bit more, reach the arms up towards the ceiling and tuck and lift. and slowly down. And tuck and lift. And slowly down. 3 more like this. Don't be surprised if you start to feel those muscles a little bit sooner than you might usually be inclined to. Let's take it up one more time in this position. Tuck and lift. Hold here for me at the top. Reach your arms long alongside your ears, but keep those ribs closed. Interlock your thumbs and stretch those arms north. And then peel your spine down south, slow as you can. Good. Hug your knees into your chest, lengthening out the lower back even more. We've got literally, guys, one more exercise to get through, specifically for the hamstrings. It's like a little bit of a meaner version of the bridge. So if you feel like this was already enough for you, then you stay with the bridge, okay? Just the normal bridge position. But to target our hamstrings, we're going to send the feet a bit further away from our bum, okay? So I'm going to go about a foot away from where my feet were originally planted. So the angle of my knees is now not such an acute flexion angle. I'm going to press my hands down into the ground and I'm going to draw my rib cage down. Okay, and then I'm again going to lift my bum up into a bridge. Again, I'm going to root down through the big toe edges, pinky toe edges, and my heels. So all kind of 4 corners of my feet contact the ground. And then I'm going to lower. You won't get articulation here. And then you're going to lift. You should feel more hamstring. Glute will still engage. And slowly lower. If you want more, step the feet away, letting just the heels contact the floor, toes lifted up towards the sky. All right, tuck and round into the lower back, and then lift your bum off of the ground. And then slowly take it down. So you literally just feel the glutes contract to lift the pelvis, pushing the heels down into the floor, slowly down. Maybe going for 8 more of these. Lift and down. If you want more, reach the arms up towards the sky so the hands can no longer help you. Lift and lower. So expect a few new sensations here with this movement, really uncomfortable ones. But notice is it actually pain? Is it a warning signal? Or is it just something new that's uncomfortable? 5. And listen to that. And 4. If you want more and more, start to extend the legs out even longer. So you could do this with a relatively straightened knee and just pick up the pelvis. Pretty disgusting. 2. Guys, last one, try and hold it for me, please. Lift and hold. Lengthen the tail to the space between your heels. Holding for 10. Push the heels into the floor. 9, 8, 7, 6. Close the ribs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower. Haha. Straighten out the legs onto the mat and shake out your feet. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. I'm kind of obsessed with that exercise at the moment because I realized how weak my hamstrings are. So we're going to take our right ankle, cross it over our left knee. Okay. You're going to let this whole complex, this figure 4 that you've created, swivel over to the left. Nice. Breathing into the right side. Think about pulling your right knee away from your body. You might even get hamstrings to activate again. I'm feeling that right now. 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way up through center. Take it over to the other side. So you're going to let that whole complex roll over to the right. And you're welcome to let that right foot rest on the floor. You're welcome to slide your left knee up and press it down towards the ground. You're welcome to slide the right leg long. Taking 3 breaths in your reclined twist here over to the right hand side. Just close the ribs, try not to back bend. Last 2 breaths. On your way out, we're going to place the feet flat onto the ground again, and we're going to end up on the other side. So let's hook left ankle over right knee, and we're going to go over to the right hand side first, pushing the knee away from you. So that top knee, think about driving it away. I always think that it's so strange that just doing a couple of movements on the floor on your mat every day can just increase your wellness so much. All these crazy things that we do with our body that just enhance our well-being. Bringing it up through center, take it over to the other side. Once you get there, you can unhook the left ankle from the right knee. You're welcome to slide that right knee up and lengthen the left leg long. I don't know if you can still see me. Taking 3 more breaths here on this side, closing the ribs down. For 3. 2. And last breath. Bringing yourself back to center, however you wish. Hug the knees in towards your chest. Little rock from side to side. And then roll yourself up into seated. And guys, that is you 100% done. So I hope you enjoyed the kind of mixture of mobility and strengthening. And I hope your hips feel great. So let me know how you guys got on.